All right. What's going on, everybody? This is Tai Chi to the People from Justice for Hire. I'm your coach, Jan, and welcome. If you've been watching on YouTube, which there's been quite a few of you watching on YouTube, which is great, and training with us. So always happy to have you. We do this every Tuesday, 8 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And it's always free and open to anyone in our community who the Justice for Hire community of Justice for Hire, if you don't know, is a show we're producing with the audience where anybody can join and become a character in a larger cinematic universe. So you can play a hero or a client or a villain and make your own mini movies and tie them together with other cast members. And it's really fun, amazing stuff. And we've been winning a bunch of awards and getting a bunch of accolades. And super grateful for all the amazing community members that have come together. So the training's free and open to pretty much anybody. And even if you're not a part of the cast, that's totally fine. We'd love to have you. That being said, if you like what you're doing here with us, every week we dedicate our training to a special cause of the week, a noble cause. And so this week we are supporting another community member's family who is running a GoFundMe for some medical costs. And you can find the link to that on the bottom of my page, which is called janstaichi.com. Eventually, we'll have that on on the Justice for Hire website. But for now, you'll find it at the bottom of janstaichi.com. You can just click the GoFundMe link, and it'll take you right to our community members' families' GoFundMe page, and you can donate there if you would like. So that being said, once again, all the training every week is completely free. And we like to support our community members. So that's what's going on. And what's going on, Adam? It's good to see you. So like I said, this training is live every Tuesday. But we, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, then you're watching it after the fact. And we'd love to have you as well. So that being said, we'll start right away. And if you ever have any questions or ideas for what we're doing in Tai Chi, feel free to either post those comments on the YouTube links or reach out via Instagram or any of our other channels. I'm Jan's Tai Chi on Instagram, and you can find my Coach Jan's Tai Chi on YouTube as well. So let's get right to it. And we're going to start. Tai Chi is it's a martial art, but it's also a human performance tool. And we always start with proper posture, the posture that really brings out the best version of ourselves. So that posture, which you'll find in many different modalities, is an imaginary string lifting from the top of the head. It starts to lift up the head, and not from the front, but really from the crown area, from the crown. I'm using my hair to illustrate. Lifts you right up, and the whole body should feel like it's dangling from that string. The tailbone starts to fall straight down because the body's dangling. The vertebrae increase in distance from each other. You feel the muscles relaxing. You feel the organs releasing any unnecessary tension. Everything falls straight down. The palms become flat. The arms are relaxed. There's that gentle, natural curve in the arm. So not a flex, but a gentle, natural curve. And special attention on the middle finger of each hand. Inhaling into the belly with the mouth closed. The tongue will be on the ceiling of the mouth, gently placed. And you're inhaling using your base diaphragm, belly area. More specifically, 3 finger lengths below the belly button. Inhaling to the belly. And exhale, wash the color down the arms and the palms and the fingertips. Inhaling deep. Exhale. Give that sensation, the breath, the sensation of breathing a color, whatever intuitively comes to you. See, feel, and experience it, gathering in the belly, 3 finger lengths below the belly button. Keep your eyes open while you do this, and when you exhale, wash down. See that color push up to the shoulders, split the shoulders, and wash down the arms, the palms, and fingertips. So to trace that path with my finger, you're inhaling in to the belly, exhaling up through the shoulders and down the arms and the palms and fingertips. The feet are parallel, facing the same direction as the fingers. So fingers and toes facing forward. Feet are shoulder length apart, and the knees are also soft, meaning that they're not locked, just like the arms are not locked. Arms soft, knees soft, weight shifts to the heels, and the tailbone is even that much more relaxed. When you relax the tailbone, you get the hips to fall into place, and the hips should feel like a bowl of water that's filled to the brim. You don't want to tilt it either direction, forward, front, back, side, side. You want to keep it very balanced. And this exercise is called gilded pillar. It's a way to get aligned, really feeling your own center of gravity, the focus in the body, and again, relinquishing any unnecessary tension. If you have unnecessary tension, it costs you. It actually costs you energy. So you want to be as efficient as possible. You want to optimize the body. And so when you start doing these martial movements, you start going up against opponents, and even in daily conversation, etc., you want to use the minimal amount of energy to get the greatest result. So even in your posture, that's where it really starts, using the minimal amount of effort to get the optimized posture. Inhale deep, exhale, drop the hands down, inhaling up. Breath pulling into the belly, the color pulling into the belly, exhale, wash it to the palms and fingertips. Inhaling up. Stepping back just to showcase the posture here, interlace the fingers above the head, exhaling down. You're going to bend the knees and start to shift forward to the balls of the feet. The hands will stay interlaced at the collarbone, and you'll then look up and go onto your toes, stretching upward, keeping the hands connected. Stretching out the shoulders, out of the hips, onto the toes, exhaling down. Again, inhaling up. Exhale, wash out. Inhaling up. Interlace, exhale down, soften the knees, shift forward. Inhale, go into the balls of the feet. Stretching out of the hips onto the toes, exhaling down. Inhaling up. I normally do this every morning, but today I didn't. I did very little. Inhale even deeper. I've been very sore because we had a great exhaling down, inhaling up. We had a great seminar, a Tai Chi seminar this weekend. Lots of Tai Chi grappling called push hands. So very sore from that. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash out. Inhaling up 1. Even deeper 2. Even deeper 3. Big inhalation. Exhaling down. So notice that we're changing the breathing formula. And this will be the 4th breathing formula. Inhaling up. Even deeper. Even deeper. Even deeper. Exhaling. Exhalation is just as long as the inhalation, if not a little bit longer. We'll do 1 more of this full inhalation. Stage 1. 2, intensify the breath even deeper. 3, even deeper. 4, even deeper. Onto the toes, exhaling down. Exhalation just as long as the inhalation, if not longer. Hollow fists rested right on the hips and widen the stance. When we widen the stance, you're going to sit in this half horse stance. The horse stance, if you know, in other martial arts styles, kung fu, karate, will normally be very, 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 very low. So we're going to keep ours about halfway down. So you're not standing straight up, halfway down. And we're going to hold it for a lot longer than you normally would in Tai Chi versus Kung Fu or Karate. You should be able to hold this for hours after a while of consistent training. Inhaling into the belly and exhaling with the weight on the heels. Body bending forward. Inhale, breath pulls you to the side and up, eyes on the belly button. Exhaling down. Inhale, breath pulls you to the side and up. Exhaling down. One more. And reverse it. The breath should feel like a rope that you're climbing. Of course, you're visualizing the breath as a color. And we do this all the time as our warm-up, just to get the circulation flowing in places where it should be eased in before exploding into faster movement. Soften the arms, inhaling up, even deeper. Exhale, sitting down. Inhale, reach up, even deeper across, turning the waist. Exhaling, cover. Exhale, even deeper, push out. This is giant snake rolls over to fight. Inhale, draw, breath in, even deeper, and you're going to uncover the arm, pulling back and uncover, as if someone's grabbed your wrist and you're pulling your hand back. But instead of just using the arm to pull your hand back, you're using the waist and really turning and allowing this other hand to come up, knock off the other, whatever the grip is that someone has, and then reaching for essentially an underhook, which is a grappling position. Normally happens underneath an arm. Inhale deep, and you can stand if you'd like, if you want to give your legs some rest. Exhale, and exhale even deeper, and sink and sit. Inhale, even deeper, uncover the arm, reaching across. Inhale, even deeper. Exhale, 1. Exhale, 2. Inhale, palm up. Notice that the elbow drops down when you go all the way out and turn the palm up. This is helpful, really saving the arm from a lock, especially if someone's going to put pressure on the elbow, you're dropping it down, getting that little bend to help you protect your elbow joint. Inhale, even deeper. Exhale, 1. Exhale, 2. We'll do 2 more each side. Inhale, 1. Uncover. Even deeper. Exhale, 1. Exhale, 2. Inhale, even deeper. Even deeper. Exhale, 1. Exhale, 2. Inhale, draw in. That was the 11th exercise in the 12 yin set of Neigong, which is like weightlifting for attention. Inhaling up, exhale, pushing the breath, sitting down. And we're going to inhale up, and we're going to switch our stance now and bring us into a more traditional boxing stance, which means that your feet will be about, well, if you're boxing, you're normally standing inside of a box, an imaginary box on 2 corners of the box. So the back foot will normally be up rather than heel down, which is contrary to Tai Chi in most practical, or in practice, I should say. But we merge things here. So you're going to keep that back heel up, 70% of your weight forward, and you're going to make sure that you can easily turn and collapse into the front hip, meaning that you can exhale, allow that back hip to melt into the front, and inhale and open it up and unwind to a traditional boxing stance, meaning that your shoulders will be about 45 or on a 45-degree angle to make your body smaller as a target versus being square and having more surface area for someone to strike or punch. So here, make your body smaller, the shoulders are 45, and then exhale, and you should be able to wind into that front leg from the side, out. Exhale, wind in. And it looks like we're winding up for maybe a body shot, but let's just practice this for a moment, just this mechanic, because there's so much that happens here, especially for grappling. So inhale, open up, exhale. I'm going to do it with my hands down just so you can see the mechanic of the hip. Remember, my back heel is off the ground. Exhaling, sinking into the front leg. Inhale, open, exhale. 70% of my weight is on the front leg. Inhale up, exhaling down. Very important to feel this back hip of the corresponding raised heel, exhaling and melting into the groin of the front leg. Inhale, open up, exhale. So this is very helpful if you're grappling and you need to really sink into your front leg and claim space rather than give up space sinking onto your back leg, or splitting space, or being double weighted as it's called. So on this mechanic, coiling in, inhaling out. And let's notice, let's actually practice some moves that come out of this mechanic, and there's a lot of them, and they all, every move has, of course, a slew of intentions behind it. So we want to recognize that the surface level overt move, something that's very obvious, doesn't necessarily mean that it only has one particular application. The intention can change, and you can change the application. So what I mean by that is that inhale, reach out. Now we have a fist. We have a jab. Exhaling down. Inhale, reach out. Exhaling down. Inhale. And as you inhale, the intent here is different than a normal, or more specific than many jabs I've encountered in the past. This jab, when you inhale, you are inhaling through the knuckles of these two index and middle fingers of your lead hand. Additionally, your tricep is going to inflate like a balloon very slowly. So you're going to inhale, exhaling down. Inhale up, exhaling down from the side, or from 45 degrees. Inhaling up, exhaling down. You can also think of it as if you're pouring tea. Pouring tea into a cup is pretty much an ideal posture for throwing a punch. Just this gentle tea, whether you're throwing a hook or you're throwing a cross. Really, really beautiful, beautiful moment. And you want to be able to take the fight out of your fight in terms of the mechanics. You want to be able to remove sometimes the tension that comes with the idea of fighting, so that you can work on these body mechanics that actually help you in so many other areas of your life. So the intention here is not even about hitting something. It's about creating a shape that is so solid with your willpower that if there were something in front of it, it would have to move or you would go through it. So you exhale, soften. Inhale, feel that pouring sensation in terms of the mechanic of the hand. Feel the inhalation through the two knuckles and the tricep inflating. And when you finish that posture, again, minimal tension anywhere else, really feel the body almost like a statue. You know exactly what the full extent is of your end posture. And we'll describe that a little bit more right now. You don't want to lock the arm. If you lock the arm, you can hyperextend the arm if you miss, which I've done, it sucks. Or you can get locked and someone can put undue pressure on your joint, which could be a break, so you don't want that either. So you want to just inhale and come up just enough to feel connected in the shoulder. So the shoulder blade too would also disappear. The shoulder will remain down unless you're training, unless you're actually sparring and need to protect your face against someone else hitting you. But right now we're taking the fight out of the mechanic, so you don't want to do too much to bring unnecessary tension. You can always put the fight back in the mechanic. So focus on the mechanic without the tension of thinking about fighting. Inhaling, exhaling down. Of course, the other hand is there to protect you, but this is also part of your statue, the shape that you're creating. So just think more so about feeling the beauty of the shape, that your final shape. And exhaling down, inhaling out. Exhaling down, inhaling out. We'll do 4 more. Exhale down, feel the weight on the ball of the foot, the big toe. Inhale, press that big toe into the ground like a button to start that inhalation. Exhaling down. Back hip coiling into the front leg. Inhale, the big toe presses, turns on the inhalation, and out. 2 more. Exhaling, coiling into the ball of the foot. Press the big toe, starts the inhalation, starts the color pulling in, the breath as a color pulling in through the arm, inflating all the way into the belly. Exhaling, almost like you're going to sleep. Inhaling like you're waking up. Exhaling, going to sleep, and then you bounce like a bouncing ball waking up. And now let's switch sides. Switching the legs. So I now have my right hand forward. This is a southpaw in boxing. So I have my right hand forward. My hands are going to be very relaxed. Oftentimes, an amateur boxer rule is to touch your forehead with your fingertips. You'll notice that amateur boxers are always doing this. They're being coached to touch their forehead to bring their guard back up. And it's pretty much important for all styles to remember that. You'll see guys who are a little more or a lot more confident or cocky, one or the other, dropping their hands down. And a lot of times you'll even see it from guys who are just tired. So you want to make sure that you touch that forehead and have that yourself ready to defend yourself. Even when you're going out and reaching, inhaling, exhaling. And I used an improper word just now. I said reaching, which is inaccurate. So we want to be as accurate as possible with our language so that we can actually achieve the full intention and the full body mechanics. So I'm actually not reaching. I'm being pulled to the destination. And that's one of the different things about this inhalation mechanic. So this is called reverse breathing in Tai Chi. Oftentimes in martial arts, you'll see an exhalation and a push when you do these particular movements, which is great. It's actually a wonderful thing. And you should be able to switch between the two, but it's important to know the difference between exhaling and projecting the breath or pushing and reaching to knock something out, and actually have the inhalation being pulled toward your destination. It's more similar to a fencer. A fencer doesn't thrust the sword to push through something. The tip of the sword is being pulled to the target. So you want to feel as you inhale that your tip of your sword, which are these knuckles right here, index and middle finger knuckles, as you inhale are being pulled to the destination, including the inhalation of the tricep. So inhale up, pouring the tea. A lot of stuff to think about here, which is why it's important to do so slowly, so you can really take your time to slow yourself down and speed up your perception, because everything that I'm mentioning is happening simultaneously. Exhaling, going to sleep as I coil into my front leg, 70% of the way forward, back hip melting into the front heel. Inhale, pour, exhale, collapsing in. Inhaling, inflating the tricep, pouring. My knuckles are pulled to the destination. Exhale. Inhale from the side. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, you want to feel that color, the breath gather in the belly, being pulled along the arms. Tai Chi has multiple visual infrastructures, and you're going to layer them on top of each other. All these intentions and all these ideas layer on top of each other. So if there's any one thing that I'm saying that resonates, focus on that one thing, because I go through a spectrum of them because there's a lot of them. And no one way is best for a person at a particular stage. You really have to figure out for yourself which visualization to focus on, which idea to focus on, because there's a bunch happening at the same time. Once you get one down and you feel confident in it, you can start to layer the other ones on top. Practice. Inhale. We'll do 4 more. Inhale up. Pour. Again, pour the tea. Exhaling down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up. 1 more. And switch legs again. And now we'll keep the same hand throwing the punch, but this time we're going to do is from the cross, meaning that it's going to come across your body. And this cross will be more, again, of the reverse breathing Tai Chi. So we're going to exhale. And in reverse breathing Tai Chi, you oftentimes load the arm. So you're going to load the arm. This is going to be a very particular mechanic that we're going to work on right now, which is exhaling down, inhaling, and punch. So with this one, I'm not turning all the way. And I love this cross. This cross is just very traditional boxing. Boom, punch. It's great. It's fantastic. I've done it in the ring. It feels wonderful when you've done it, perfectly. This is a slightly different mechanic, and it's important to explore these. So exhale, load the hip. And when I say load, you're going to coil your own hip by turning it out, almost like you're cocking back for a punch, which of course is pretty much inefficient if you don't box. So you're not going to cock back the hand, you're actually going to cock back the hip. Exhaling, open the hip, and then inhale, again, like you're pouring tea. Exhaling, dropping down, and cocking back the hip. Inhale, waking up and pouring the tea. Notice that the tricep is inflated. Also notice that I'm cheating down for the camera, which is slightly below me right now. So the actual angle of my proper punch is going to be about nose level for me. Exhaling down. So this is a non-traditional cross. It's a Tai Chi reverse breathing cross. And again, the idea is to create your shape. And this shape, when it's finished, and even on the road to creating it, should feel completely solid. The entire time, wherever you make the impact, whether it's here or here or here, the impact should feel completely solid, meaning backed up by the whole body. And in my experience, that's not necessarily the case if I were to throw a different type of cross, the more traditional cross, which again is great. It's a great, great technique, but this is just different. And I find personally to hit harder when I do this reverse breathing technique. Inhale, pour. Exhale. Inhale, pour. And I'll tilt the camera down to my feet for a second because the pivot is also happening. So now I'm facing forward. I have my back heel off the ground. And as I inhale, I still pivot that back foot. And as I exhale, heel is still off the ground. And as I wind my hip, inhale and pivot up, exhale, wind the hip from the side. This is my traditional boxing stance. This is me loading, winding the hip up. I'll tilt up slightly more. Load, wind the hip up. Inhale, punch. I pivot. But again, this is not a winding up. This is not the full hard pivot of me pushing the punch forward, which is again more traditional. This is my traditional cross. This one, inhale, it is not all the way. As a matter of fact, you might end up being square to your opponent at the end of this punch, which is only okay if you're aware that you're doing it. Because when you do certain things, you're putting yourself in, pretty much every technique puts you in a vulnerable position. And it's super important to be cognizant of the vulnerabilities of the particular choice you're making. So I'm throwing this punch knowing very well that I am stopping at near square, exhaling down. But it would only make sense for me if I know what I'm going to set up next, or if I'm very comfortable with the other variables, the vulnerabilities that I'm essentially, what I'm exposing myself to. Inhaling up, exhaling, wind up. We'll do 4 more. And Adam, if you have any questions, please ask, because I'm always happy to dive deeper on this stuff. This is very particular stuff, and this is, I think, wonderfully taught by Grandmaster William C.C. Chen. And we'll switch sides. Now I'm in southpaw, my right hand and right foot forward. I'm in my very traditional boxing stance, fingers touching my forehead. coming up at any given time. And if they're not touching my forehead, I still have the ability to bring it up very quickly and wall up, etc. And now here, right hand forward, loading, we're winding the back hip up as I sink onto the front, meaning I exhale, open the hip, my knee, added detail. As I go forward, I push the hip and I push the knee very gently as I sink. My knee bends and pushes toward the big toe. And of course, you might think that, of course, the body mechanic is going to have the knee come forward and toward the big toe. But there's a very particular way to do it. Because if I just lean forward, I'm bringing my knee past my big toe. So instead, you want to feel yourself and that imaginary string that we've been talking about. You want to feel your center line almost as if the body is coiling around the center line rather than you moving the center line. So my center is really not moving. It's coiling and almost corkscrewing down. And part of that corkscrew gets that knee to push forward onto the big toe, which winds the hip. So I'm pushing my knee forward, which actually helps protect my knee, especially it reinforces, you can feel the muscle reinforcing the kneecap. So especially if you're doing MMA, if someone has the ability to grab your leg, you want to have the most reinforced stance possible because you don't want to have a weak knee. So winding down with the hip, my arm, again, I'm not pulling my arm back. I'm super relaxed up here, but I'm loading. And then inhale, my left hand is coming across. And I'm being pulled to the destination. Exhaling, going to sleep, coiling the hip, pushing the knee forward. Inhale, from the side. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. And another really important idea to give yourself that I mentioned in passing earlier is the concept of going to sleep and waking up. So as you exhale here, you want to feel like you're going to sleep. As you inhale, you want to feel like you're waking up. Exhaling, relaxing into the stance. Inhaling, fully energizing. Let the breath energize you, fill up the body, fill up the structure, so that the structure is strong. And not strong as in flex strong, but strong because of very intentional tension. You're inflating the tricep very slightly. You have the body turning at this particular angle, being pulled to the destination. And your destination, again, is not to straighten out, which would give you greater distance, etc. That's great. But this is a different technique. You should always be able to throw variations of techniques. So inhaling up, it's different than traditional cross. Exhale and inhale up. Yet another idea that I mentioned in passing is the bouncing ball. So the feeling of going to sleep and waking up should feel like you're throwing a ball onto the floor and it bounces upward. So winding down, boom, up. My wind down is throwing the ball at a 45-degree angle on the ground. Inhale, my fist is the ball coming out. That bounce, my body bounces up and it inflates the shape. And I think it's really important to address that these ideas, I've shared many of them so far, can feel counterintuitive or as if there are too many things happening at once, or that some of them are in conflict with each other. And so it's super important to allow yourself to feel one of them, whichever one resonates, and to just work on that one. And of course, please ask me questions on that one. All this stuff, these mechanics are essentially like riding a bike. Once you get one of them, you can start to play around while your muscle memory takes care of everything else. And then you can start to really refine the movement. We'll do 4 more. And not just refine, but optimize. Exhaling down, inhaling out. 2 more. 1 more. And as a note, look at the tailbone. The tailbone is pointing down as much as possible, meaning that there's not any flex in the lower back. It's very similar to that first exercise we did, that imaginary string. Same thing at the end here. When I'm up, I want to feel as if I'm dangling from that imaginary string. So you want to keep that best version of yourself in these mechanics. Again, before you add the fight mentality. The fight mentality is something that you absolutely should train if you're doing martial arts, fighting, etc. I think it's great, it's super important, but it should not be at your foundation. The foundation is not fighting, it's excellence. So you want excellence to be at your foundation. It's awareness, it's expanded awareness. You want to make sure that you're aware, calm, and in control of yourself, and recognizing that you are in the environment and influencing the environment. You want to have the greatest influence, which can only come with the greatest sense of awareness. So very relaxed. And now we're going to put this together for a 1-2, meaning the 1-2 punches, boom, boom. You want them to feel really strong, and the strength, again, not because of your flex, but because of the structure. Your structure should feel really strong. And it's very different than me throwing out, boom, just throwing out more relaxed hands, which is great if I'm just throwing a normal jab cross, where we want to take this to a very particular level of refinement. So we're going to go inhale, exhale down, inhale up. Exhale down, inhale up. And there are variations of this where you can inhale up, exhale down, and pop out. That's awesome. That's fantastic. That's you taking the best of both worlds of the traditional boxing move and this very specific Tai Chi reverse breathing. That's awesome. You can do exhale, inhale, and you can do all this other stuff. But right now, we're going to focus on the double inhalation for this punch. So we're going to inhale up, exhale, relax, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Pouring the tea, exhaling down, coiling in, inhale. And notice that the exhalation down is essentially going to be whipping us from side to side. So the load, now that we're making this a little bit more martial, the load for one punch is going to happen on the other punch, meaning that the coil, the load, is essentially you coiling up. Inhale, exhale, down, inhale, exhale, down, inhale. Inhale, slowing it down, coiling into the front leg. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, coiling with the back hip. Inhale, pouring the tea. Exhale. And you can also, of course, think about this if you've done any boxing. Again, like a body shot and protecting yourself, winding up for that body shot. So, but again, if you think too much about the wind up, you're going to put unnecessary tension in the abdomen, which is something we want to minimize right now. We want to have the wind up really be centralized on you softening this back hip into the groin of the front leg. And you'll feel the wrapping of the muscle in the front leg as well. So as that happens, you'll feel the wrapping. I feel it here, feel it on the side, all inside, coiling down, versus turning and covering the face for a body shot style response. And that's awesome, but again, we're building blocks here. So exhaling down, inhaling down. Exhaling down, coiling the back hip out, meaning that we're pushing that front knee forward as we sink. And then inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale down. We'll do 5 more each side. Exhale. Coil. Inhale. Exhale. Coil. Inhale. Exhale. Coil. Inhale. One more each side. And switch legs. I'm going to southpaw mode. My right hand is forward. And again, from here, of course, all these mechanics, when you slow them down and you get an intimate sense of them, you don't have to make as overt of a movement to generate the same type of power, meaning that the circles get smaller and smaller and smaller. And with the smaller circles, you get greater centrifugal force, which is true in all things. So, but the whole thing is you have to be aware before you make them smaller. Otherwise, you're not going to get the full power out of them. So you want to be aware of what the full mechanic is before you, bam, just throw it out there like that. So, and even with that little throw, there's a little bit of that coil whip that I'm placing in it. So you want to feel that full coil. Exhaling down to the front leg. Inhale, pour. Exhaling, winding up on the back. Inhale, pour. Exhaling. Inhale, pour the teeth. Exhale. Inhale, pour the teeth. Remember that the knuckles are being pulled to the destination. And it's less about my arm being fully extended and more about me having a firm idea of the solid structure, like a statue, that I want to become. What shape am I becoming? What am I being pulled to? Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Another reason for this concept of this statue, or another way to help to think about it, is we're talking about this concept of centrifugal force. And so look at all the spinning that's happening when we're coordinating ourselves in this way. We have full body power happening right now in a very particular way. And we're spinning upward, we're spiraling up, and we're going outward. So all these circles are moving, spiraling toward the same direction. So when we complete our shape, regardless of how far it is, we still have a lot of power versus just a push on one plane. If you only throw it this way, then you're only going to have one plane of power. You're only on this plane. So, and if you start to twist the arm, then you get another plane of power. That's great. Another set of power set. That's wonderful. But since we're digging down, inhaling, and coming up, you're getting so many different aspects of power here, all combined at the same time. And this is all before anyone starts to talk about the concept of chi. And again, I don't often talk about the concept of chi because there's so much to unpack there. So without even talking about the concept of chi, we get so many different layers, planes of power happening here, which are all very physical and overtly measurable. It's not that some of the more subtle energies aren't measurable, but they're just not as overt. So I want to make sure that anytime we're training together, you're getting practical stuff that you can apply right away. But of course, because we're focused on mastery here, you want to be able to work on something in a disciplined way and see the progress. So these little notes will help you gauge your own progress, feeling the spinning of the tricep, the inflation of the tricep, the rotating of the shoulder, but not too much of a drive. This is a great punch too that I am not very used to, honestly. None of my boxing instructors ever told me to punch like this, really. And I have encountered it, but it's not something that corkscrew twist, which is great. And I've tried it, and I'm like, okay, this is fun. But I find a lot of value in this one. Again, all these, it's important for you to collect along the way different methods of doing the same thing so you can compare for yourself and find what works best for your body type. Exhaling down, we'll do 5 more each side. Inhale, 4. Exhale. So now let's take a moment. Let's do 2 uplifting heavens, inhaling up, big breath, exhaling down. 1 more. So notice that we're exhaling and pushing the color out, the belly and the hands as we go down, which is normal Tai Chi breathing visualization. But let's focus for a moment on kicks. And we've done Shaolin kicks here before, but I want to focus on the Tai Chi breathing for kicks, which I think is really, really interesting. And Max Chen, dear buddy, Grandmaster William C. Chen's son, he's a pro Muay Thai fighter, and just really, really wonderful way that he shows the Thai kick, the Muay Thai kick, which is pretty much one of the most efficient kicks that you can have, the Muay Thai round kick, more specifically. And with my training with Max, I love how he uses his father's Tai Chi breathing to adjust this very powerful kick. And so for him, he's inhaling through the big toe as he lifts the foot and lowers it down. So, of course, if you do Thai kicks, you're in your boxing stance, of course, standing within the box, back heel up, touching the forehead concept. But if you're throwing a lead leg Thai kick low to an opponent's leg, you're going to likely step out or step forward and kick, and then step back. So you're going to step, kick, step back. And let's slow that concept down. So we're going to step with the back leg and inhale, draw the color up from the toe, inhaling into the belly, and then exhaling, putting it down, and then step back. From the side, we're going to step forward. You don't need to step in front of your leg because that's a little too much. You can just bring it up a little bit and then inhale. Draw the breath up the leg, exhaling down. So when you draw it up, notice that you're kicking across the body. This is a round kick, so it's coming around. And the intention, if I was having someone kick me, is to kick the inner thigh upward, meaning slicing up, rolling the muscle up with your shin. So my shin, being used like a baseball bat, is swinging upward at a 45-degree angle to the lead leg of my opponent. So you can do that quick, but here we're slowing ourselves down to reinforce the balance and the body mechanic and the idea of creating the shape. Step, inhale up, exhale down, step back. Step, inhale up, exhale down, step back. You can drop the hand if you'd like. Different schools of thought. Some people drop the hand, the lead hand, as the lead leg comes up to counterbalance themselves. Exhale down and up. There are other people that would keep it here and not do that at all. But for now, let's focus on counterbalancing. Step, inhale, draw up, exhale down, step back, step forward, inhale up, exhale down, step back, step forward, inhale up, exhale down, step back. From far away, step forward, inhale up, exhale down, step back, step forward, inhale up, exhale down, step back, step forward, inhale up, exhale down, step back. Again, kicking 45 degrees up. So inhale, step up, and I kick across. Step over here just so you can see, kicking across, down, up. Again, step forward, inhale, up, kicking across, forward, and up. Inhale up. And really focus on bringing the breath up the leg, almost like a straw, like you're sucking through a straw, and you can feel the color pull up into the belly. You really want to have that sensation of pulling the breath through the big toe and lowering it down. Now let's switch sides. Actually, you know what? We will keep the left leg forward for the purpose of orthodox boxing. So if you're southpaw, you can always switch at home, or you might already be doing, or might already have switched. But for this, let's stay focused on throwing the back leg now, also on a 45-degree up. So here you would step out on the 45. Step out on the 45, inhale, kick, exhale, back. Hands up, so stepping out, inhale, and the intention is to kick the back inner thigh up on a 45-degree angle with the shin, your shin. So not with the instep of your foot, which with this type of power that you generate could actually hurt yourself, and really more so with the shin, swinging it like a baseball bat. Inhale up, exhaling down. That other hand can drop. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And you can step in, inhale up, exhaling back, and step back. Inhaling up, exhaling back. Step out 45, inhaling up, step back. Inhaling up, step back. 5 more. Step back. Inhaling up. Step back. 3 more. And I recommend holding at the end just to feel the full engagement of the muscle. How soft you brought it up, softly you brought it up, and to feel all this working and switching back. 1 more. And back. Inhaling up, uplifting heaven twice again. One more. Both feet together, feet shoulder length apart, feet 2 fists apart actually. So bring your feet about 2 fists apart from the body, from each other. Inhaling, the breath lifts the wrists, and the wrists lift the body. Fingers to the back wall, chest to the ceiling, hips forward, weight on toes. Exhale, butt back, fingers forward. Soften the knees, inhaling up. Fingers to the back wall, chest to the ceiling, hips forward, weight on the toes. Exhale, butt back, fingers forward. Soften the knees, inhaling up. Fingers to the back wall, chest to the ceiling, hips forward, weight on the toes. Exhale, butt back, fingers. 1 more. Inhaling up, and put 1 foot forward. When the 1 foot is forward, all the way from the back leg, and you're going to keep the toes up, so only the heel touches on this front leg, and you're going to bend that back leg. Exhale, touch the toes, hold the toes, inhale deep, exhale, pull yourself in a little bit more like you're trying to kiss the toe, and inhale up. Switch legs. Exhaling down. Touch the toes. Inhale, draw the breath in. Exhale, pull yourself deeper like you're trying to kiss the toe. Inhaling out. Switch legs 45 degrees. Exhale. Touch the toes, hold. Inhale deep. Exhale, pulling like you're trying to kiss the toe. Inhale up. Switch legs 45 degrees. Exhaling down. Inhale, draw the collar into the belly. Exhale, try to kiss the toes, pulling yourself in. Inhaling up. 1 more time each side, this time 90 degrees. Exhale, pushing the collar to the palm of the fingertips. And then hold the toes. Inhale deep. Exhale, pull yourself in, try to kiss the toes. Inhale up. Switch sides. Last one. Exhaling down. Hold the toes. Inhale to the belly. Exhale. Pulling yourself in. Try to kiss the toes. Inhaling up. Touch the toes. Exhaling. Washing the color down. The legs. Inhale like you're scooping white light into your belly. Turn, stand on your toes, and exhale, wash the color white light down the legs. Inhaling up onto the toes, turn to your left. Exhale, wash it down. Inhaling up over the head, down the back, under, reaching behind you. And slap off the legs. Off the inside of the arm, turn, down the outside arm. Other side, up the inside, turn, down the outside. Over the shoulders, slapping down the back. Backs of the legs. Inhaling up, just the fingers. Exhaling down. Inhaling up, just the fingertips. Exhaling down. Inhaling up, just the fingertips. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. One more. Remember, rub the hands together and around the chest, massaging around the pectoral major muscle and tapping around on the perimeter of that muscle, right around the pec, right around the breast area, and then massage deeper into it, getting the lymph nodes, pressure points, floating rib up, slapping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let the pressure reverberate through the lungs and chest. Other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. And knuckles on the small of the back, massaging down. Think about massaging into the kidney area and down the lower back, and then reversing it, bringing it back up. And then reverse the actual circles, massaging down and back up. And hands together, rubbing again, up and down on the sternum for the immune system. And either side of the collarbone, tapping. Open, look up, open the hands. And when you look up, you're going to allow yourself to feel the relaxation wash all the way down through the groin area, through the reproductive organs. So all the way up and massage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And massage on the back of the neck, counterpoint. For the hormones under the lip and the thumb, and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. For sleep, massage around the ears. 1, 2, 3, 4. And index and middle finger up the front, over, down the back, under. For the immune system, very strong pressure. Up in the face to the side, release. Up in the face to the side, release. Up in the face to the side, release. Fingers to the scalp, front to back, back to front, front to back, back to front, massage. Front to back to front, slapping. Front to back to front. Hollow fist, gentle banging. Front to back to front. Grab the scalp, knead it, let go. 1, 2, 3. Next patch, 1, 2. Next patch, 1, 2. Next patch. And reverse it. 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3. And you can even do either side, reversing the circles, and then reverse that again. 4 fingers to the top of the forehead and massage. 1, 2, 3, 4, and reverse. Temples. 2, 3, 4. Under the eyes. 1, 2. And reverse. 1, 2. For the heart. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other side. Right here, where the lip meets the nose. 1, 2, 3. Top and bottom, under and the teeth and above the teeth, on the gums. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. On the side, actually just above the gums proper, in the grooves between the cheekbone and the actual gum tooth roots. Massage. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the bottom, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tongue. And reverse it. Flick the fingers. Thumbs. 1, 2, 3. Grab. 1, 2, 3. Close the eyes. Inhale, white light. Exhale, spread it through the whole body. Inhale, roll light up the front of the body, foot to head. Exhale, roll it down like a waterfall down the back of the body. Exhale, head to heels. Inhale, white light up the left side of the body, like a tidal wave rising. Foot to head. Exhale, roll down the right side, like a waterfall, head to foot. White light into the belly. Exhale, push it to the top of the head like a fountain. One more breath into the belly. Exhale, push it down the legs, into the ground, and come back up and around like a fountain in reverse. Make a bigger bubble around you. Just have gratitude for the body, the good people in your life, the space you're in. Really feel that white light connect to everything around you, everything connected to you. And thank you so much. This has been Justice for Hire's Tai Chi to the People. Thanks everybody for watching on a regular basis. And like I said, it's open to everyone, and you're always welcome to come. If you would like to donate to the cause of the week for this episode, for this week, you can check out my page, janstaichi.com. And at the bottom of that page, you can press the donate button to be sent right to the GoFundMe of one of our community members, family members, who is raising cash for some medical issues. So that being said, donation is always optional. It's always free. And Justice for Hire is a show we're producing together with the audience as characters. Anybody can join and become a hero, client, or villain, hire a hero, or become one to get paid. So it's going to be great. It is great. And I love you guys. I'm Coach Jan, and I'll see you soon. We do this every Tuesday.